am not in the mood to do this. I'm I'm not in the mood to be recording content, to be talking, to be vulnerable, to be transparent, to be or do any of those things, to be honest. But I know that this isn't about me. I know that this is bigger than me. And I know that when something needs to be done or when God tells you to do something, you be obedient. Yes, once they get it, get it. And if you don't, get it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have it. Um, and I'm more so like just not in the mood because you ever seen that TikTok when it's like, I got so many bills. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. I woke up at 2 in the morning and it was like, I'm in so much debt. Like, where did that even come from? What are we talking about? Why 2 in the morning? I wish I had an answer. I don't know, but I know old me would have said that and I would have started stressing like immediately and thinking of a game plan and thinking of a side hustle and something else to do or another job or another business or another career or like something. And I was just like, I'm not going to do that because there's been so many moments that I feel like we have these moments, right? And instead of going to God about it, we try to figure it out for ourselves. We try to take matters into our own hands. And that would have been me taking it into my own hands. That would have been me, excuse me, that would have been me trying to figure it out for me versus at least coming to God about it. Like, hey, sir, what can I do? Like, can you help me think of a game plan? Can you help me find a resource? Can you bring somebody into my life that's going to be able to help me figure out how not to be stressed about what is going on in my life at this present day moment? Like, what can I do? And I think so many times instead of going to him, we just try to take it on ourselves. We try to figure it out for ourselves. And I'm just not in a place to be doing that right now. I'm not in a place to be like, yeah, God, I got it. No, I don't. You got it. You can have it. You can figure it out. And when you figure it out, you let me know. And I'll do what I need to do. And I know before, like I said, I was stressed about it. I'd be so up in arms. And the last thing I would want to do is this. The last thing I would want to do is record a podcast, record my next YouTube video to talk to somebody about what I'm going through, just because in my mind it would be what is going to make me some money. I'm not making no money off of YouTube and my podcast and things like that right now. What? As much as I really want to be a paid content creator, that is not my life right here today. And that's okay. But I know that, like, instead of fighting what God is telling me to do, which would be to be transparent here, to talk to somebody else who could be in the same boat as me, I would be trying to find a side hustle. I would be trying to figure out something else of how to make some money right now. And it's just like, no, I'm not doing that. Um, I'm not doing that. Not this time. Last time you'd have got me. Not this time. And this morning I was catching up on the Terrell show. I love watching the Terrell show. If you do not watch the Terrell show, you missing out. But it was the episode with Dorinda Clark Cole. Dorinda, why do I not know her name? You would honestly not even know that I grew up in church. Anyway, it was the episode with Dorinda Clark Cole on there, and she was just talking about how like at some point she was suicidal in her life, but she's like, I'm still here. Like I have things planned for me. The whole episode was really good, and they were just talking about different things that I feel like I needed a reminder of. Like there was just little bits, little glimmers in there that just had me like, all right, like okay, like we got this. Like let's move on with the day. Because there's so much for me to be grateful for right now. I've had an entire week off of work and it's been amazing. Amazing. Did I have plans to do anything? No. Did I do nothing? Yes. I did have plans to do things around the house. None of that really happened either. But, I just took a moment to really relax. And I'm glad that I did because I needed a moment to just relax, to just be. Like, that's what I needed more than anything. And I'm glad that I had the opportunity and the chance to be able to do that. Um, I've been working on some things for my business. I've been working on some things for the podcast. I've been working on some things for YouTube. And for whatever reason, it's really heavy on me to continue to show up, though, like, my physical being just does not want to be here, like, at all. Not even a little bit. I'm I'm trying to be obedient. I'm trying to listen to God. I'm trying to be consistent when it comes to this because this is bigger than me. This isn't even about me for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like when you're walking in purpose, when you're being obedient to God, a lot of times it's that discipline that like is going to, because the motivation is not going to always be there. Like the willingness to thrive is not always going to be there. Like there are some moments where you're really going to have to like put yourself away and be like, this isn't about me. I got to keep going. And in those moments you will still have those, well, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why am I, you know what I'm saying? And I know for me it's been like that for a while, and I'm just like, why am I still doing this? And I'm not a very like open person. I'm not a you'll meet me and learn about my entire life story. I don't know how y'all feel about zodiac signs. I'm very much into them. Hello. And I am a true Scorpio. Like everybody's out to get me, which is not true. I know that. But like in my mind it's just like I'm not sharing no information. I'm super private. I'm super to myself. I'm very like quiet and just like I'll listen, but am I gonna talk? Not really. And so when God talks to me about doing this, like no script, no nothing, just be vulnerable, just talk, just be transparent about what you got going on right now. I'd be like, me? Why? Yeah. I think about all the time how like anytime I be wanting to say like get somebody else to do it, I don't, because if y'all know anything about Moses, he hit God with the hardest. Like, respectfully, sir, get somebody else to do it. And like, it took a minute. So I feel like you should know the story. But like, God was telling Moses, I need you to do this. I'm gonna need you to go ahead. Here's the plan, right? And Moses was like, but I'm not capable. I don't even talk right. I can't do this. I like he kept and God kept reassuring him, no, it's okay. Like I chose you. Like, like it's fine. And like Moses kept coming back with something else. And God was like, reassurance. And Moses was like, but, and God was like, reassurance. And then by the time Moses was like, respectfully, get somebody else to do it. God lit that thing up. Like he was mad. I don't want you to be mad at me. I don't want that. So while like in my mind I'd be like, get somebody else to do it. I'm not even gonna go there with you because listen, if you're telling me to do it, there's a reason. And a lot of the times I don't know the reason. A lot of the times I don't always have the answer right away. But I do know there's been so many moments that God has said, talk about this. And I'll talk about it. And somebody will tell me, oh my God, thank you so much for saying that. Like, I really needed to hear that. And I'd be like, all right, heard you. Like, okay. So that's what I mean when I say this is bigger than me. Like, it's not just about what I want to do because, like I said, there's been so many moments. I could be in a random work meeting or like anything, and God will say, "Talk about this," or "Tell somebody about this testimony," and share this, and I'd be like, ah. And then the minute I do, somebody be like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that." Oh, I really needed to hear that. Like that really jumps out at my face because I was really losing it. And that's why I do it because it's not about me. I could have been like, no, I'm not going to say that. I remember specifically one time I was in like a mom group and everybody knew at some point that I was like working on trying to get my first apartment, all this kind of stuff. And there's so many things that was happening leading up to me getting my first apartment that were kind of just getting in the way. And that video is also on my YouTube. But I had told the story before, like, my testimony of how I got the apartment and everything. And so we were sitting in the meeting and God was like, talk about the apartment. And I literally was like, I already told him about, like, I'm not about to, no, I already told him about that. And he was like, talk about the apartment. So I was like, well, yeah, I just want to share. And like, I let them know what was going on and what happened. And everybody was like, oh, that's so great. Thank you for telling us. Da, da, da. And this girl came to me later and she was like, thank you so much for saying that because I'm looking for a new job. And like, not the same circumstance. I'm not looking for a new house, but she was like, I'm really glad you said that because seeing how many things were coming against you and you were still faithful, you were still keeping the faith, you were still going, like I needed that because I feel like everything is against me right now and I'm trying to be faithful. I'm trying to get the job that I feel like God is telling me to get, but there's so many things coming in the way. So like I needed that. Thank you. And I was like, I cried because I'm a crier. And I was just like, because in my mind, that's how God shows himself strong in my life. Like when you tell me to do something, I do it. And then knowing that it blessed somebody like that quickly was just like literally the definition of being a vessel. It's just like, this is bigger than me. This has nothing to do with me. Like somebody else needs to hear a testimony, a word, something that you're going through, something that you've been through. And sometimes it helps people knowing that like, I'm not in this by myself. Like, oh, you in debt too? Girl, I was just looking at my bills and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pay all this off. Because I don't know why I was waking up at 2 a.m. thinking I have so much debt. And my definition of so much debt is nothing compared to what I've heard. So am I being dramatic? Possibly it's me we're talking about. But in my mind, I was just like, oh my gosh. But then I've had to really quiet that voice. And I don't mean quiet it and be like, blow a bag. Like, no. But I'm saying quiet the voice of like, now I need to be stressed about that. Cause then girl, you'll never take a trip. You would never treat yourself for your birthday. You wouldn't live life. And it's just like, I hate to say it, because it's not a part of everybody's lives. But there are some things that happen that are just a part of life. If you stress about that one thing, you would never live your life freely to be able to be like, oh, I lived a good life. Because I don't know about you, but I do not want to wait until I retire to be like, now I can live my life. My bones hurt. Whoa. What am I doing in this retirement? No, I want to live my life because yes, we never know when it's our time to go. But at the same time, I don't believe that we were put here just to work and die. Like, does that not sound crazy to y'all? That sounds crazy to me. I don't want to do that. Girl, I'm gonna be in debt and I'm gonna still get the Starbucks. I'm not saying be like me at all. I'm not condoning any of that. I'm just saying for me, for an overthinker, for someone who stresses about things so heavily and so bad sometimes, I really have to get myself out of that. I really have to like stop and be like, yo, we are not gonna worry about this. It's just we're gonna come up with a plan. We're gonna figure out like a goal and how to get there, action steps, all those kind of things. But are we going to stress about it? No, ma'am. I will be stress free in my car drinking my Starbucks coffee. And that's just what it is. So I say all that to say If you feel like you are in this moment of like, I'm just so stressed, I do not know what to do, how to get out of this. I am genuinely and in this moment praying that God releases that stress off of you and that you give it to Him. Like, listen, that is one thing that I remind myself of, and I know, like, God does not want me to stress. He does not want me to take on all of this stuff. Like, why? Why would He do that? I ain't asked to be here. It's your problem, not mine. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm just gonna do what you tell me to do. I'm gonna behave how you tell me to behave, the best that I know how. And these the problems, the stress, the no. I'm gonna package that right on up and I'm gonna hand it off to you, sir, because respectfully, I don't want nothing to do with this. No, thank you. So I want you to also have this mindset of I'm just gonna give it to God and really give it to Him. Like I saw a TikTok and this one lady was saying how like she got a box and in the box like she wrote like God on it, like it was her God box, and she would put the things she was worrying and stressing about it in the box. And she was like, when you keep thinking about it, when you keep stressing over it, then I want you to open that box and I want you to take that thing out and tell God, never mind, I got it, never mind, you can't handle it, I'll handle it, and take it out the box and you have it, you figure it out for yourself because you feel like God can't do it. I'm not taking it out the box. I'm not doing that. Like saying I'm giving it to God is one thing, but to physically write it out, physically put it in a box and say, God, I'm giving it to you, for whatever reason has made all the difference for me. Because the minute I start thinking about it too much, I'm like, I'm not taking that out the box. I don't want it. I'm not going to tell God that I can handle it better than He can. Immediately, no. No, it's not happening. I'm not. So the minute it comes up, I'll be like, I'm not worried about it, God. Thank you for figuring it out. Thank you in advance for what you're going to do for this situation. Thank you in advance how, while this may have been on my mind at one point in time, later on, I'll be able to be like, yo, remember when I said I was in debt? Yo, no, because mark my words, I'm going to make another video at some point and be like, remember I told you I was in debt? Guess we ain't got no debt. It's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a doubt in my mind. This isn't I'm saying it so that it will happen. It has already been done. You get what I'm saying? Is I've already taken my mind out of what I want to happen, how I want things to go, how I want it to be. Come on now, Jesus. It's already done. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I want you to have that mindset too. It's already done. What are we stressed about? What are we worrying about? Nothing. Okay. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday because I'm so sad that this is my last day off, but so grateful that I've had an entire week to be able to rest, to spend time with my family, to be with my kids, to just take a minute to think, to breathe, to work on business, to get myself in a good mindset. And I pray that the rest of y'all weekend is great. Mine will be. It might be more relaxing and a bunch of nothing, which is great for me. But I want you to be able to not stress, to not worry, and to give it to God because He cares for you. Okay? All right, bye.